Today's deep dive is brought to you by Skip Benton with Coldwell Banker Select Real Estate. If you are looking to relocate to Northern Nevada, then contact Skip. We appreciate Skip for bringing these deep dives to our community. With all the talk about housing these days, I've been digging into something that might just be a game changer. Modular homes. I'm curious, have you ever considered living in one?
Well, it's certainly a hot topic. And a recent survey by the Amherst Group, a major player in the real estate world, shed some light on just how much people are thinking about modular homes as a solution.
Okay, let's unpack this survey, because some of the findings were pretty surprising, at least to me. Get this, 81% of Americans would consider living in a modular home. It's a huge number, and it really got me thinking, what's driving this openness to modular living?
It's fascinating, isn't it? The survey suggests that people are drawn to modular for a few key reasons. 65% like the idea of faster construction times, which makes sense given the current housing shortage. 56% are intrigued by the design flexibility that modular offers, allowing for a more personalized home. And then there's the quality factor.
Yeah, the quality thing really surprised me. The survey found that 41% of people believe modular homes are actually higher quality than traditionally built homes, because of the precision and rigorous inspections involved in factory construction. It makes you wonder if those old stereotypes about modular homes are starting to fade.
I think you're right. There are definitely some lingering misconceptions out there. For instance, 44% of people still think modular homes are basically the same as mobile or manufactured homes, which they're not. Modular homes are built to the same building codes as site-built homes and are placed on permanent foundations.
Exactly. And it's not just about speed and quality. The survey also highlighted the growing importance of sustainability, especially among younger generations. What's the connection there?
Well, modular construction can be significantly more eco-friendly than traditional building practices. Think about it. Less waste generated on site, more efficient use of materials, and even the potential for incorporating sustainable materials more easily. This resonates deeply with Gen Z, who are increasingly concerned about their environmental impact.
It makes you wonder if this focus on sustainability could be a major driver of modular adoption in the coming years. But even with all these advantages, there are still some challenges facing the modular industry.
You're absolutely right. One of the biggest hurdles is awareness, as we saw in the survey. Many people still don't understand what modern modular homes are all about. They picture those outdated images of prefabricated boxes, when in reality, modular homes can be incredibly stylish and sophisticated.
It's like they need to see it to believe it. But then there's the issue of zoning regulations, which can vary widely from place to place. How big of a roadblock is that?
Yeah. It can be significant. Some areas have outdated zoning codes that make it difficult or even impossible to install modular homes. It's a patchwork of regulations that can be frustrating for both builders and potential homeowners.
So it seems like there's this push and pull between the growing demand for modular homes and the need to adapt regulations and overcome lingering misconceptions. It's a lot to unpack, and I'm really curious to explore those challenges further. But first, I think we need to take a closer look at the nuts and bolts of modular construction. How does this process actually work?
It's actually a pretty fascinating process. Imagine a factory. But instead of cars or gadgets, they're building entire houses, room by room. These modules, as they're called, are constructed in a climate-controlled environment, using precise measurements and advanced technology.
So it's like a giant high-tech Lego set, where each piece is a whole room. That seems incredibly efficient. But how do they ensure the quality is up to par with traditional construction?
That's where the magic of factory production comes in. Every step of the process, from framing to wiring to plumbing, is subject to rigorous quality checks and inspections. Because the environment is controlled, there are fewer variables to contend with, like weather delays or material inconsistencies.
And since we were just talking about zoning, I'm curious, do these modules have to meet specific building codes? Or is it different because they're built in a factory?
That's a great question, and it's one of the areas where the industry is working to improve clarity and consistency. Modular homes are absolutely subject to the same building codes as site-built homes, and in many cases, they exceed those standards due to the controlled factory environment. But the process of getting those modules approved can be a bit of a maze, especially when you're dealing with different jurisdictions and interpretations of the code.
So it sounds like there's a lot of coordination involved between the factory, the builders on site, and the local authorities. How long does it typically take to build a modular home from start to finish?
Well, that's one of the major selling points of modular construction, the speed. While site-built homes can take months or even years to complete, a modular home can often be built and installed in a matter of weeks.
Weeks, really. That's significantly faster than traditional construction.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the elephant in the room, cost. Is modular actually more affordable, or is that just a myth?
The cost question. It's
Yeah.
a complex one, and it's not always a straightforward answer. While modular construction can offer cost savings in some areas, like labor and materials, there are other factors to consider.
Like what?
Well, for starters, you have the cost of transporting those modules from the factory to the building site. Then there's the site preparation work that needs to be done, including foundations and utilities. And of course, you still need a local builder to assemble the modules on site and handle the finishing touches.
So it's not as simple as just picking out a design and having it delivered to your lot, ready to go. There are still costs associated with the on-site work and logistics. But I'm guessing the factory setting offers some cost predictability that you wouldn't have with traditional construction, right?
Exactly. One of the big advantages of modular is that a lot of the costs are fixed up front. You know what you're paying for the modules themselves, and you're less likely to run into unexpected delays or material price increases. That can plague traditional construction projects.
So while the upfront costs might be comparable, the long-term savings and predictability could be a major factor for people considering modular. It's definitely making me rethink my own assumptions about home building, but I'm still wondering, with all the advancements in technology and design, what does the future hold for modular construction? Could this be the way we build homes from now on?
It is. It really is. We've talked about efficiency, sustainability, and even affordability. But what really gets me excited is the potential for innovation.
Okay, spill it. What kind of innovations are we talking about? Is this where we get flying cars and robot butlers?
Haha. Maybe not quite yet. But we're seeing some incredible advancements in materials, technology, and design that are pushing the boundaries of what's possible with modular construction.
Like what? Give me some examples.
Well, for one, there's a growing trend towards using sustainable and even recycled materials in modular construction. Think bamboo flooring, recycled steel framing, even homes made from repurposed shipping containers. It's about minimizing the environmental footprint while still creating beautiful and functional spaces.
That's amazing. It seems like modular construction is kind of a blank slate for incorporating these eco-friendly innovations.
Absolutely. And then there's the technology side of things. We're seeing more and more integration of smart home features, energy efficient systems, and even off-grid capabilities. Imagine a modular home that generates its own power, collects rainwater, and adjusts its temperature automatically based on your preferences. It's about creating homes that are not only beautiful and functional, but also intelligent and responsive to the needs of the occupants.
That sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie. But it also makes you wonder about accessibility. If modular homes become more high-tech and customized, does that mean they'll become less affordable for the average person?
That's a valid concern, but I think the beauty of modular construction is that it can be adapted to a wide range of budgets and needs. You could have a basic, no-frills modular home that's incredibly affordable,
Yeah.
or you could go all out with the latest bells and whistles. It's all about finding the right balance between innovation and accessibility.
That makes sense. It seems like modular construction is opening up a whole new world of possibilities for how we design, build, and live in our homes.
It really is a paradigm shift. And as the technology continues to evolve and costs come down, I think we'll see modular construction become even more mainstream in the years to come.
It's an exciting time to be in the housing market, that's for sure. But I want to thank you for taking us on this deep dive into the world of modular homes. It's been incredibly eye-opening. And I think our listeners have a lot to think about as they consider their own housing needs and preferences.
It was my pleasure. It's always a great conversation, and we get to explore the future of housing.
And of course, a huge thank you to Skip Benton with Coldwell Banker Select Real Estate for making this deep dive possible. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep into the topics that matter.